The US drops a travel advisory on Trinidad right as Marco Rubio lands in Jamaica. Coincidence or calculated move? Drop your theories below in the comments. Imagine packing your bags for the ultimate Caribbean getaway. Sun, sand, and soca. But wait, what if the US government says, hold up, maybe think twice before booking that flight? Today we're diving into why the US has just issued a travel advisory for Trinidad and Tobago and what it means for you. Stick around to the end because the real reason behind this warning might not be what you expect. The US just put Trinidad and Tobago on a danger list. But is this really about crime, or is there a bigger geopolitical game being played? Is Washington using travel advisories as a geopolitical weapon to control the Caribbean? Or is Trinidad truly becoming too dangerous for Americans? So let's get straight into the geopolitical angle. Crime is everywhere, but why does the US only warn against certain countries at specific times? What's really going on here? Sound off below in the comments. Marco Rubio's visit to Jamaica and the US strategy. The Florida Senator Marco Rubio, a vocal anti-China, anti-Cuba, and pro-US policy hawk, just landed in Jamaica for a high-level meeting. His presence signaled a US pivot towards reinforcing its grip in the region. Coincidence? Not a chance. The US is actively pressuring Caribbean nations that are too cozy with China and Cuba, reminding regional leaders who's really in charge, stirring instability to create economic and security fears. What better way to rattle a government than a travel advisory? It sends foreign investors running, disrupts tourism revenue, and forces Trinidad and Tobago's government to play defense instead of strengthening regional alliances. The bigger picture: US reclaiming regional control with China financing deep water ports, roads, and telecom projects in the Caribbean, and Cuba playing an increasing role in regional diplomacy. Washington is pulling the old school Cold War playbook: economic pressure tactics, scare tourists, slow down investments, diplomatic maneuvering, using Jamaica as a regional ally, regional traitor I mean, security warnings to justify deeper US intervention or deeper US imposed sanctions. The bottom line: the timing of this travel advisory isn't just about crime in Trinidad, it's a geopolitical power move. The US is signaling that it won't allow China, Cuba, and Trinidad to form an independent economic and diplomatic front in the Caribbean. With Marco Rubio in Jamaica, expect more US regional interference in the coming months. No, the real question is, how will Trinidad and Tobago respond? Let's discuss in the comments. If the US is willing to do this to Trinidad, which Caribbean country is next on their hit list? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The US Level 3 travel advisory for Trinidad and Tobago didn't just drop out of the sky. It's a strategic geopolitical chess move. Let's break down the timing and the real power plays at work behind the scenes. The US is sending a message to China and Cuba in the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago has been deepening ties with China, benefiting from Belt and Road Initiative, BRI investments, infrastructure deals, and energy cooperation. Meanwhile, Trinidad's former Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, has shown lukewarm loyalty to Washington, even as US influence in the region wanes. Why does this matter? The US has been wary of China's growing influence countries in the Caribbean, and with Cuba strengthening economic ties with Trinidad, Washington sees a potential China-Cuba-Trinidad axis forming right in America's backyard. Do you think this travel warning is about real crime or US political pressure? Let's settle this once and for all. Tell me in the comments. Since Stuart Young became the new Prime Minister of Trinidad, he was also talking tough. Yes, and me support that and me applaud that. So this is why you see Marco Rubio target Trinidad and Barbados, because those are the two Caribbean countries that he invited to Jamaica. Yes, we already see St. Vincent, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez already submit and stand down. Yes, because we see him send over the documents on all the Cuban doctors and nurses to the US government. So we can take Dr. Ralph Gonzalez out of the picture because him done bow and submit. Zine, so Marco Rubio is not coming to Jamaica to play and laugh up with nobody. It's either their way or the highway. And you know what come with if you choose the highway. So in the meeting we are going to take place in Jamaica, I guess Prime Minister Andrew Holness will be there to back up Marco Rubio and try, get Mia Motley and Stuart Young to stand down and fall in line and bend the knee. So this travel advisory where we see US fling out on Trinidad, it not have nothing to do with the crime we are going in Trinidad. Trust me, if foreign investors start pulling out of Trinidad because of this advisory, who really benefits? Follow the money and let's discuss in the comments. You see, a lot of people get emotional in their feelings when they see somebody like Trump, who is a real leader. Yes, I said it, Trump is a real leader. Unlike your favorite politicians, there's a difference between a politician and someone who is a leader. You cannot have an issue with someone who practices patriotism and nationalism. If your politicians don't practice patriotism and nationalism, take it up with them. Trump is doing what is best or what he thinks is best for his country and his people and his economy and his hegemony. And if you don't understand that, you need to go re-educate yourself, because obviously you are not as intelligent or as smart as you think you are. And me know me are gonna lose a lot of people right here, so as me just said that, but guess what? Continue listen and you actually might learn something. You have to understand the why behind why me say what me just say. You have to understand the why. Why Trump do this? Why Trump said that? If you don't understand the why, you are going to go in your feelings and your emotions and you are going to miss what's going on. I may not agree with everything what Trump do. On the other hand, I agree with a lot of things that Trump does. I have no issue with Trump. I respect Trump because Trump is a real leader. Unlike a lot of people, me not look no friend from Bakra. That's the difference with me and a lot of people. That's why me not have no issue with what Trump want to do in America. It's his country. He's the president. He is supposed to do what is best for his economy and his people. But because people in the third world, in these slave colonies, you're not used to a real leader, a real man will stand up and talk when feel and do and say. Everything what Trump do is what he campaigned on. That's what they elected him to do. The people elected him to do exactly what he said that I gonna do. Trump said promises made will be promises kept. You never did that listen. So because your politicians are not real leaders, you don't know what a real leader is supposed to look like or sound like. Trump is the perfect example of a real leader. I wish I had a prime minister like Trump. The last prime minister we had like that in Jamaica was Michael Manley. May he rest in peace. real men respect other real men. If Jamaica had a real leader, we are going to stand up and say, all right, Trump, I hear what you're saying, but here's the thing, I cannot do or I will not do what you request. And actually stand up, he will respect you. But he's going to sanction the hell out of your country and make a special example out of you. But guess what? That is the consequence that you will have to live with. And as a real leader, you are already prepared for his sanctions, come what they may be. But at the same time, because our leaders miseducate the people of Jamaica by keeping the said slave curriculum that was left by the former colonizer, our former slave masters, they never changed the education system, so the people are still mentally enslaved, receiving a colonized education. So guess what? The people will not understand the sanctions. The first thing the people are going to do, because they were miseducated, is to overthrow the government and say, "Are your fault why we are do this? Are your fault why Trump are do this?" So the people's immediate reaction, because you have kept them in a state of ignorance and you keep miseducating them, the people now gonna have no choice but to revolt and rise up against the government, because they don't understand. And when me say they don't understand, what I mean is this: they don't understand the why behind why you're doing what you're doing. They don't understand the why behind the stance where you take. They don't understand the why by you making a decision like that and sticking to it. The why is always very important. If the people understood why the Prime Minister is taking a stance like this, not to bow and submit, that this very stance is to protect the future generation from falling into perpetual economic enslavement or economic colonization, and that protecting your sovereignty is important to maintaining your freedom and autonomy. And this is going to go over the heads of a lot of people, because them don't understand the message when me a come with. Just the same, we see people in my comments, a comment scholar running and comment on the last video when me put up on them and say, "Oh, me not understand geopolitics." So me laugh. You see me laugh and chuck laugh. The comments, so me respond to them and me say, "You don't understand what sovereignty means, cause sovereignty supersedes geopolitics." Meaning, as long as I am sovereign, you cannot tell me what to do. So, fuck you and your geopolitics. You can't tell me what to do. And that is the problem that I have. No country not supposed to tell Jamaica who to be friends with and who to do business with. I don't agree with that. You get it? If you had properly educated the people of Jamaica with a real education, then guess what? They would stand with the government and say, make America do what they want, make them impose all of the sanctions. We good. We are gonna build Jamaica from the inside out, from the ground up. But you can't expect the people to stand with you when you never change the education system. Up to now, I haven't heard Mark Golding or Andrew Holness say them are go decolonize the education system and start the decolonization process, because every former slave plantation should have gone through a decolonization process. That is what they're not telling you. So yes, I respect what Trump is doing 100%. I am not in my feelings and emotions. I understand the why behind why he does what he's doing. That's why I say a lot of people need to unlearn and relearn. Go and check out my video, Decolonizing Jamaica's Education Curriculum. trust me, you will not waste your time. And this is a perfect example of someone who has been miseducated and them watch one of my video and they think they're smart and intelligent and then go make a comment like that and end up put their foot in their mouth and me have to check them and correct them on site. So this comment is a perfect example of how someone who has been miseducated would respond and react emotionally. Pure feelings, and you have been miseducated up to the tertiary level. So you don't escape the miseducation because you go university. No, that's where it actually becomes worse. That's where it becomes the real indoctrination camp of the colonized education. Cause if you are educated to the tertiary level and you don't know say sovereignty supersedes geopolitics, then you need to shut up. You actually need to shut the fuck up. And if you're getting your feelings every time somebody criticize your favorite politician, whether it be Mark Golding or Andrew Holness, and if you cannot stop yourself from getting your feelings, you are not emotionally intelligent either. Know that. You need to can separate country from party colors, and you need to know say people have a right and people will criticize your favorite politicians and there is nothing you can do about it. Miseducation was the reason why people used to unalive other people over JLP and PNP party colors. Yes, that's a result of miseducation. Now pre this, them want go republics in, but yet they not decolonize Jamaican education system. That no make no sense. Them no decolonize the education curriculum, but them would want to put aquatic creature agendas in textbooks fi indoctrinate and brainwash our children into wrong ideologies. Make that make sense. Those are the things you need to ask your favorite politicians them before you run in the comment section being a ignorant comment scholar and or chat futtery. But then again, most of you don't stand for a damn thing.